Wall Street Journal is. So I saw this video. If you can pull up this video, by the way, that I sent you. And on Wall Street Journal, this video shows a guy who owns a dealership, what it looked like just a few months ago versus today. Watch how he describes this. Turn on. There you go. Go ahead.
If you turn around and you look, everything you see is new.
That's 10 rows, each with about 15 cars.
It's probably 150, 175 cars.
It's what you'd expect to see at a car dealership like Adam Lee's. But let's rewind 8 months.
Because I have not walked out here in a while. This is...
They don't have any cars.
A lot of lot.
Wow.
Last year, new car sales fell to their lowest level in over a decade, as shoppers saw more asphalt than cars on dealer lots.
There is no cars to sell a year
fast
ago.
forward to today. Dealers like Adam Lee finally have more cars to sell, but rising interest rates are making those cars harder to afford.
Okay, you can pause it right here. So there's a couple of things when I saw this video and a couple of charts that I wanted to share with you. So first of all, we all know a year ago, I'm trying to buy a car for my family, you can't get a car. You can't get chips. The prices are ridiculous. Then you see some of these numbers. Go to the next chart that they're showing based on auto sales. Okay, so this is inventory, okay? Inventory. For about 2 years, America, for the first time ever, we're talking since decades, our inventory was less than 1 million. Prior to COVID, look at 2020. If you look at 2020, you see that number 3 million?
Yeah, almost 3 million.
Prior to 2020, American dealerships in America for decades were always above 3 million. We always had 3 million cars in inventory for decades. It dropped to less than 1 million. You see that number right there, 788, which was July of 2022. It's come up to 1.172 million. It still hasn't come up. We got a lot of room to come up to, the average of 3 million plus. Can you go to the next chart, which was kind of interesting to think about? This is the number of day supplies automakers have. Jeep has enough supply for 125 days. Jeep. Can you zoom in a little closely to see who's second, third, if we can see it? Okay, number 2 is that Buick?
Buick,
Volvo, Chrysler. Well, Buick
Dodge,
should have enough supply for years. Volvo, Chrysler, Dodge, Jaguar, Ram, Infiniti. Okay, go to the bottom now. Go to the bottom. All the way at the bottom is Toyota. Can you go to the next slide so we know what Toyota's days are? So that's 152. Toyota only has 27.7 days of supply.
Wow.
Which means Toyota, Kia, Honda, Lexus is selling. Even Land Rover, BMW is selling. So Porsche is selling. A Mercedes is selling. Faster than Buick. So go to the next slide. Go to the next slide that we have here. Average new vehicle transaction price. Go 3 years ago. $32,000. The average car today, Vinny, is $47,000. Honestly, Tom, how the hell are people making these car payments? By the way, here's how I want you to look at this. This is the thought that was scary for me. Can you go do me a favor? Pull up a calculator. Just pull up a calculator, car auto payment calculator. Type in auto car payment calculator.
I see where you're going. I'd also like to know how many months, the average number of months people are on those car loans. It used to be 60, 5 years. I'm wondering if they're going longer because the car's more expensive.
Why don't we do this together? Let's just do this together. Go to auto loan calculator, zoom in a little bit, put $32,000 price, $32,000, stay on 6 months, go to, what were the rates 3 years ago in 2019? 1%? 2%? What do you want to put it, Tom?
You could get 3. Let's just use 3. Average credit, 3%.
Okay, put 3%. Down payment, let's put 0. We're putting 0 down payment.
Yeah.
Okay? And then pick state. I don't know. Go to Florida. Let's just do Florida to Florida. Okay? Or matter of fact, go to California. Go to California.
That's where I came from.
Go to California. Okay, go to California. Whatever is fine, calculate. Calculate. What's the payment?
$575.
Where do you see it? $575 is the payment. Okay, so that's what? That's at the average price of a car 3 years ago, which was $32K. Okay, and we're using 3% interest rate. Payment is $575.
No money down. No money down.
Which is no money down. Fine. Now go to take that $32,000, make it $47,000. Leave the time. What do you want to put it at? 7% or 6.5%?
Let's just use 6.5.
Go to 6.5. Everything stays the same. Calculate. 9.
Since the dawn of man, getting help has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss, or your mental health.
919.
Jesus Christ.
So let me get this straight.
It's like two cars.
You went from 575 to 919. The income hasn't increased.
No.
Your income hasn't increased. What is the number on that 575 on 919 if we do the math? Is that an increase of 70%?
Jesus.
919 minus 575, 345 divided by 575. That's 60% increase in car payments. In 3 years, Vinny.
Oh my God.
In 3 years. In 4 years. We're not talking about an increase. By the way, meanwhile, all those money that they spend to people, they've spent, okay? So when people are like, well, America's going to be fine, real estate's going to be fine, economy's going to be fine. Really? The only way this is going to be fine is what's the average income in America in 2019? Pull up average income in America in 2019. What is the median income? Whatever you want to...
Not household, individual.
Individual income in 2019.
Because individual income is probably closer to 40 grand.
What-
Household,
yeah,
68.
Fine, no problem. Let's use household. Household income in 2019 at 68. What's household income today? What's household income in 2023? What does it show?
60. Wait, how much?
74, 75. Okay, so let's do the math here. Here's why I want you to know problem is coming because the American family is going to feel this. So that's an increase of $7,000. $7,000. So their income has increased 10%, but the average car payment has increased 60%. You explain to me how American families are going to make up that 50% like this. There's only a couple things that happens. Layoffs or a big-ass increases of 50%. Companies cannot pay 50% increase today. So what's going to happen next? Selling of cars, prices of cars are going to go down, okay? Mm-hmm. You're going to see people who are trying to sell their homes, it's going to go down. This is bigger than people think. As much as we talk about home prices, what do you think people buy more of, cars or homes?
Cars.
The first way to judge if people can afford to buy a house is if they can afford to buy a what? A car. Yeah, so if they can't afford to buy a car today, how in the hell are they going to buy a house today? And then what is the seller going to do? Doesn't the seller need more qualified buyers? Mm-hmm. Guess what? Qualified buyers are decreasing. Qualified buyers are decreasing. So this is a very interesting season we're going to go into in the next 6-12 months. If you own your car today, good for you. If you're about to go buy a car today, brace for impact. You're going to see it in the payments if you haven't already. Tom, you're doing some math there, so I'm curious to know what you're thinking.
I did. Average length of a car loan, 2019, 59.5 months. 6 years, right? 60. Average length today, 69.7 months. Almost 70. Ladies and gentlemen, 72 is one more year. So how is Americans dealing with it? If Rob could go back there and plug in 72 months, just plug in 72 on the 47.
Adam, how happy is Adam? Because Adam does not have a car. This whole time.
It's still.
Adam's
Like
like this.
Now
Adam
take a
is
look.
like, yeah.
It's still 790.
Do me a favor. Matter of fact, let's play this game. Go to 84, which is 7 years. Go to 84.
Dude, that's
By the way, the longer you go, the higher they increase the rates, but it's fine. Go to 84. It's what? 697. Go to 96.
Jesus.
To get to the same payment, go to 108.
Oh my God.
We're going to play this game. Go to 108. What was the number? 575?
575.
You're officially at it. Instead of 60 payments of 575 to afford today's car, you have to make an additional 48 payments.
God.
Yeah, but how much has the cost gone up? How much more interest are you paying? That's the number
It
that I want to
doesn't
know.
matter. The average family doesn't think about interest. They think what they can afford on a monthly payment.
Yeah, but that's the exact opposite what you should be thinking.
It's not about what you should be, Adam. We're not sitting here talking about what people should be doing. The average family's sitting there saying, I need a freaking SUV. I need something. I can only afford $575. They don't care about interest rates. When I bought my first Mitsubishi Eclipse when I was in the Army, you know what my interest rate was? FMAC, if you're listening, FU, 33%.
Yeah.
33%?
Well,
FMAC out of Kentucky, Clarksville, if you're out there, I don't know if you're still in business. They gave this 18-year-old kid a Mitsubishi Eclipse 33% of my interest rate.
What?
I paid it.
Jesus.
Freaking, it was a $5,300 loan, but it took me, I'm still paying off
He's still
the Eclipse.
paying it. Yesterday was your last
Parked
payment.
outside. I come to work with it.
That's right.
One of the tires is missing. We push it every morning when we come here.
you can't say that people can't care about the interest rates.
I didn't
you know
tell
that
you.
They care.
I didn't tell you that. No, Adam. Okay, you care. I care.
Yes.
We care.
Yes.
People care more about the payment than the interest rate.
And that's why they're idiots. That's why most people are living paycheck to paycheck and they can't afford.
I didn't tell you whether they're idiots or not. They listen to this content because they want to change.
Yeah.
They listen to Sauce because they want to change. The people that are listening to you, they're saying, I agree with you. I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
But the average person today, who is the majority, is only looking at payment. And guess how they're going to be financing? You know what, John? Can you by any chance make it 108 months? Can you by any chance make it 96? The salesperson doesn't say, well, Mr. Jones, do you really realize how much more interest you're going to pay? The salesperson's like, I don't care what we make it. Sell it so I can make my commission.
Yeah.
That's what this car salesman's going to be doing.
We all know that the big money in cars, just as you're seeing this, is not on buying the car.
Yeah.
It's the financing. That's how they can go from making $2, $3, $5 grand to $20,000 off a customer. Because if a customer's like, I just want to be at a $400 payment, it's like, well, get ready to make those $400 payments for the next 30 years, buddy.
Let me read a couple quick super chats here. One is Scott Rodriguez, who is
on wheels.
Scott Rodriguez.
By the way, I think by the end of March, starting April, we're only going to have members be able to comment. A lot of people are becoming members. If you haven't yet become a member, you may want to. Starting April, we will only be reading. Members will only be able to see their comments. Everybody else, you won't be seen in April, but you got a month to become a member. Scott said, and I'm going to say this in the friendliest way, good morning, home team. The live show was amazing. By the way, we had a sick event last week live. It was phenomenal. Had a great time. Takeaways from the live show. PBD is a stallion. I don't know what that means. BizDoc is an OG. Vinny is one handsome stud. And Adam definitely looks his age. Which,
Why is everybody always talking shit to Adam? Like, not even one good compliment.
not cool, man. But hey, Scott, I enjoyed talking to you. You're an absolute stud of a guy. Jesse just gave a super chat. I've been selling CDJR for 6 years now. Sales have a lot to do with your team, and the industry is filtering out the layman average salesman that got in these last 3 years and didn't sharpen their skills and relationship. Jesse, I agree. The same as in many different industries. These are different times. Relationship matters a lot in industry today. So, Tom, before we go into the next story, any final thoughts on the cars, or can we go to the next one?
No, let's go to the next story.
Let's go to the next story.
I think we've run that one.
Adam,
All right.